feels strong as well, and comes to rest in the back of the 12-foot.
Yeah, just overthrown. They wanted to make the freeze, and if the line was good, play the tap, but being a little heavy and wide, it just never had a chance to curl up.
Yannick Schwaller's first thought was just to come down and try to get to the inside of that. I don't know that Benoit Schwartz is sold on that, and I can see what he's looking at. Really, how much better are you going to make your situation by drawing to that side? And you could make it worse. If you leave him a double, that might be the get-out-of-jail-free chance. He did look at coming around, or he gestured about coming around on the other side. You have to go real wide for that. That's a tough shot first in.
Yeah, and I think Benoit and Team Schwaller know how good Team Kleiter is at the heavyweight hits, so trying to avoid giving them a free double to sit one or two.
Got to get well to the inside to avoid the double. If he stays right on the nose, because it'll be the only way for Rylan Kleiter to get shot rock, he'll just blast the double out of there. This is a weird either or. You either have to get well past the nose to get to the inside corners, or stay enough on the outside corner that if Rylan Kleiter tries to hit it, he's going to jam it on his own at the bat. Getting the line now, curling hard as it comes into the house. Taps his own back just a little bit. Like Yannick Schwaller was a little undecided whether he wanted to sweep that or not. Wanted it back far enough so that he didn't leave the double, but didn't want to sweep it far enough that it wasn't the second shot rock.
Yeah, I think they got away with the rock being a little bit heavy, and the double is probably there, but it's pretty tough.
He's got to hit everything he can see.
Yeah, Rylan's going to need to hit what he can see and hope that the red goes over top of his yellow in the back 8-foot.
Early call on the sweep, but they backed away now and looking for curl. Wanted to hit everything he could see of that, and got a couple of inches of air. Drove it by the stone at the back of the 4-foot, jammed it onto his own stone back 8, and it's Yannick Schwaller sitting 3.
Yeah, that was a risky shot to take on. There wasn't much else. You maybe could have played the run back down the middle, the run double to get rid of that red in the top 4, but it's going to be pretty tough for Team Kleiter to score now.
He's always going to have the really wide out-turn draw, and you were watching the pregame practice, so you'll know which side of the sheet they threw their pregame on. Nobody certainly has played that wide during the first end.
No, it'll be a brand new path and a little bit of a guess. I mean, the good news is he has a little bit of backing over there. If he is back 12-foot weight, they might be able to curl it up to the backing to only give up 1 or maybe 2, depending where this ends.
Have to expect Benoit to be close here. He did a nice draw with his first one. Not looking to tap anything this time, so he'll have to throw a little bit of weight off. Brusher's waiting on it to curl. Coming nice now, but he's still got lots of room by the yellow.
Brushers don't want to touch this right now.
Well, that's pretty much right where they tapped the ice.
Yeah, decision time for Team Kleiter.
Liking the tap on the yellow board. Can't see a lot of that. 3/4, maybe?
Yeah, for 1, you're going to have to hit what you can see to get to the edge of button for 1, but most importantly, they need a little bit of the 4-foot to only give up 1, and that'll be the main objective of this shot. I think if Team Kleiter can manage to only give up one, it's kind of like a win after the way this end is set up.
Well, if the team decided to put Matthew Hall at the key line and Joshua Mattern with the vice to take some pressure off Rylan Kleiter, that's not how it worked out this end.
No,
He's got
that's
all
for
the pressure
sure.
on him right here.
Big shot for Rylan Kleiter, calling a little light.
This is curling early, too. We know there's a lot of movement late. Got a guard he's got to get by just to touch his own. It's going to rub the guard. Probably didn't have the weight he needed anyway. It's steal of 4. Start things off here for Yannick Schwaller. And jump out to the 4-0 lead here in this C qualifying game.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Four nothing lead. Yannick Schwaller calls for that first stone into the top of the forfeit. This comes to rest at the corner of the button. Matthew Hall calling for the corner guard. Now Pablo Lachat will look to come to the middle again. Look to bring this right in as well.
Yeah, pretty tough shot for Rylan Kleiter in the first, and having to make a tap on a rock in a brand new path that they haven't thrown yet against Forrest it's a tough shot.
Well, the nice thing is, if you've got to give up what's the old saying? Or it's not that old, I guess. It's since the free guard zone came in, if you've got to give up 4, you may as well do it in the first end because you've got lots of time to come back. And the rule does give you some opportunities. They've got an opportunity already here in the second. One corner guard up, 2 stones belong to Yannick Schwaller, both at or behind the tee line. Looking to come around the corner guard now. Nice line by the guard. Had to wait on that stone to start slowing down. They would have liked to sweep it a little earlier to finish it, but it's deep in the house already.
Yeah, running a little bit deep, Team Schwaller will be able to throw the hack to Board Waiter and eliminate that stone in the butt 12.
A little bit of risk here, just in that this is only the 5th rock of the end, so he has to make sure he's by the guard. Room by the front one.
And no mistake.
Almost funny to watch there. You saw as it came by, Benoit Schwartz was ready, and really it looked like he was just waiting for it. You're going to call me to sweep, because once it comes by, you usually get that sweeper from the other side to get the last little bit of finish. But Yannick Schwaller, in that case, didn't want to stay behind cover.
No. Yeah, with how much late finish we have on this ice, with how much late finish we have, you could have knows that if you're Team Schwaller, but then you leave a rock that could be easily frozen on too.
But it's almost funny we've seen it so many times already this week that it's almost become a reflex for the sweeper. He just, out of instinct, just expected the sweep call to change as soon as they got by the guard. Takes you by surprise when they don't do it, but and I don't mean us. I mean, it took Benoit by surprise. He was ready to put his brush down. He was fully expecting that sweep call as soon as they got by the guard.
Yeah, as a sweeper, you almost automatically think that they want you to switch right away, and he was ready. He was ready for the call, which was good.
Tighter by the guard this time. A little bit less weight. Not going to be able to bring it into the rings. Stays for a second guard, though.
Yeah, pretty good tolerance. I think a tight guard is much better than in the back 12 and giving Team Schwaller the same board later.
Schwaller can't really afford to play the double peel either. He'd bring one of the yellows back in towards those reds. So he's just going to peel the high guard.
And now the run back for Team Schwaller is going to be much shorter if this draw is made by Matt Hall.
Well, he knows how much he has to adjust the weight from his first one. Maybe some question on whether he can take a couple inches more ice because you have to get around the one he just threw. Little wobble on the delivery there. Comes up a little short, and that might have had to do with that little wobble. Doesn't matter who you are, how well you correct. You get that little wobble, and you always, it's physics. You lose a little bit of the weight. Not able to bring it into the rings, and maybe the worst part of that is they've left it corner frozen on their own, where Yannick Schwaller can hit this half rock on the outside. Both of those should fly easy.
Yeah, you really have left yourself with no option in this end other than to make a freeze or go for the blank and retry next end.
What I think. I think it might be time to regroup. It's still only the second end. Schwaller with the appeal.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Sean. I think you could just throw the nose and get rid of all three reds and restart next end, and with hammer try to score two. It's going to be a tough deuce now. I mean, if you make this freeze absolutely perfect, it's only going to be a 3-foot run back for Team Schwaller.
Yeah, it's not the tough deuce I'm worried about. It's there's lots of game left, but you sure don't want to get forced in the second end.
Yeah, exactly. If you get forced, momentum is deflated already, giving up a steal 4. If you get forced, you're down 3 without. It's just not a fun position to be in.
Struggling with draw weight. This is an attempt to freeze to a stone at the back 8, and it's going to be a center guard. And now, forget about the force. We're looking at possibly a steal.
Yeah, just struggling with draw weight a little bit for Team Kleiter.
Yannick Schwaller with the double peel on his first. With the second, a nice delicate draw comes around to the top of the forefoot, in behind that fellow guard that doesn't matter. He really want to throw. After it. Now he's going to try to use it, run it straight back. Boy, if you could ever run this straight back and dead stick it, you could be sitting shot rock behind cover. Looks like it's just about lined up to make the run double.
Yeah, big shot to keep Team Kleiter into the game, you have to make contact.
Clips the stone out of the top of the button area, rolls the shooter over to be a corner guard now at least. Shot rock's behind the tee line. I can imagine Yannick Schwaller is going to want to play a guard on that.
Yeah, that was a good shot. He needed to make contact. If he doesn't make contact there, and he just peels it's hard to say the game's over in the second end, but you're not looking very good.
Well, we're down to skip stones, so just 2 stones left to come to the Kleiter team, and that force we were talking about looking pretty likely. Hard to get back to a blank situation now.
Yeah, and I think that's what Team Schwaller is talking about is where do we put this rock where we don't leave them a double and roll under the corner, but we also don't leave it too high so they have a freeze and get a skip deuce.
Yeah, exactly. You know that Kleiter probably can't get the blank right now, so he's going to have to play offense. Where do you put this rock if you don't give him that chance? I think what they've elected to do, it looked like the call was come to the corner of the forefoot, top corner of the forefoot at about the 2 o'clock position. 130 maybe?
Yeah.
127, let's say about 127. Just so that if he wants to play the straight back double, you have to stay out in the open. Plays the hit and roll, he's only killing 1 rock.
And this is going to be probably the best spot he could have put it.
Maybe a foot shorter where he wanted it to be.
Yeah, a foot deeper would have been perfect because it does leave the opportunity for Rylan Kleiter to make a freeze here.
And then there's some separation for the run. Like he gets that foot and a half deeper, and Rylan Kleiter makes this freeze perfect. There's enough of an angle that he can run it back, and he has to kill 2 stones to get rid of the yellow stone he can find with that. First things first, Rylan Kleiter has to make a really good and not easy freeze. It's coming across the center line to do it. This isn't a path that they throw a lot. They throw a lot of rocks coming up to the center line. He needs to get a rock slid past center. All week long, they wouldn't have played this shot very much.
Yeah, and it's the second end, but this is probably a shot against the loss already. This needs to be perfect.
Line's looking pretty good coming in. Nothing out of the brush yet. A little strong, doesn't want to bump this and leave some separation. They had to go a little bit at the end. He was over curling. Does tap it back about a foot, which leaves room for Benoit Schwartz to try to pick it out of there.
Yeah, just a foot too heavy. Good enough to make Benoit Schwartz play the pick and should have full forefoot for his 1 point for Rylan Kleiter.
Makes the hit, puts the redstone behind it as well. Jams it on the ones at the back. He won't mind that, though, actually, because now Rylan Kleiter doesn't have any backing at all. If he throws the same draw and he's heavy again, it's liable to slide too far. He's got to take some weight off.
Yeah, no backing. It's a draw to full 8 foot for 1, and to be down 4-1 after 2 ends without hammer. Not the ideal start for Kleiter, and but
Still
big shot.
Easiest shot he's had to look at so far.
Yeah, big shot for Rylan Kleiter here.
Draw against 3. Quick look at the stopwatches from the brushers, and then Trevor Johnson gets his brush down right away. Has not left yet. They got to get some 8 foot here. Well, Rylan Kleiter came up light on a draw in the first end with the same stone. He's going to be light again, and it's a steal of 3. One quick look around the outside. They do concede. It's a steal of 3. Yannick Schwaller out to a quick 7-0 lead here after 2 ends of play. Rylan Kleiter's got some work to do when we can come back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial. Financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Well, no secret what Rylan Kleiter is going to be playing now. All-out offense. I'm actually surprised to see that Schwaller threw the first one into the ring. 7-0 lead. I thought they might just throw it through.
Yeah, and I really like this call. We're seeing a lot more teams do this when they have more than a 3-point lead, is playing the corner tick into the rings. It's like the mixed double shot.
Yeah, it came from the mixed doubles at the power play when they get one chance a game to start to play on the corner. It's hard to get that to the side, so what they've decided to do is play the push that rock into the ring so that you can hit it on the next one. And if you miss the shot like this, it's a violation of 3 guard zone rule. The rock goes back, your rock comes out of play. With a 7-0 lead, you're fine with that. You may as well give it a shot.
Yeah, there's literally zero risk in trying it, and it's almost tempting when you have hammer down 4 or 5 to throw the center guard so they can't tick. It's definitely
a thought, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the no tick zone, it only started mid-season last year, so it's really only just getting up to the first full season of playing it. Not all of the the ways to use it, the tactics around it, haven't all been developed yet. That's a valid point.
Yeah, it's definitely strategy. I have seen a couple of teams use when they're down 4 or 5 to try it out. We haven't really seen it at the Grand Slam stage or yet on TV, but I know teams have talked about it, and it is a fun strategy to try. It goes against everything you learn in the junior level of curling.
It sounds like a fun strategy if you're playing leader second. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We're down 4 or 5. Let's try this strategy and see if we can get down 6 or 7. Is kind of the way it sounds like it would work, but it just really depends on what the opposition decides to do. Rylan Kleiter's got his 2 corner guards. And again, the setup in the house is not great for Schwaller. He comes behind the tee line with that last rock. Matthew Hall will look to come around. Looks like he's trying to come around the longer of the 2 corner guards first.
Yeah, I think, in Matt's head, he knows Team Schwaller's going to try and make that double peel with the 2 corner guards. Try to get one behind the corner, guard it a couple times, maybe make a freeze. Hope to have a shot for 3, at least 2.
I'll be honest, that's why I'm a little surprised to see him come around the higher guard. I thought he'd come around the other one. If he'd come around the other one, Schwaller's not likely playing the double peel.
Yeah, and
he's got to peel the rock that's open.
Yeah, unfortunately, this over curled on Matt. It's almost wide open.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you're going around the corner guard. You got to bury them right now. On one hand, you like to say it's early, but on the other hand, if you start to do the curling math, 6 ends left to play, you're down by 7. If you get 2 here, you're down 5 with 5 ends left to play. You really are putting yourself in the point where, as long as you only have to steal 1 at a time, it's not insane. It's not crazy. It's not like you have to reinvent the strategy. There are ways to steal a single point, even if you have to do it 5 times in a row. But you got to score your deuce here.
Yeah, it starts with scoring 2 here. With the no-tick rule, like we just talked about, it does give teams opportunities to get back into games. There should be more rocks in play. With a hitting team like Team Schwaller, it is pretty difficult for this comeback, but you got to start with a deuce in this end.
Starts to peek out around the outturn side again. Probably a little bit more undercover this time. I think they've decided to go after the guard. I think the call is just go over the top, play the single peel. I wouldn't say worried, but aware that if they try to go into the second guard, they could accidentally push it into the rings. They don't need to take too many chances here.
Yeah, almost just like what they just did, a couple inches away. It's hard to think that just because Team Schwaller and Yannick Schwaller throws so much weight with their peels. So it is pretty hard to make the tick into the rings, but it was there.
Yeah, he didn't miss it by much.
No.
And again, it all boils down to with a 7-point lead, you're not the team that has to take any chances.
Yeah, pretty simple curling for Schwaller the rest of the way. They just hit everything and make sure you score with hammer. That's kind of their game plan now.
Team Kleiter makes 4 stones left. If they make 4 perfect shots and they don't give you a chance to get the double, well, you'll give them the deuce and take the 5-point lead in the hammer into the 4th end.
Big sweep to get this by the corner guard. Just the way the game's been going for Team Kleiter so far.
Boy, you might have left the double on the yellows too.
It's really close. Not
half
quite.
rock.
But yeah, you
I
might.
know, it's got to be thinner than half, I think. Tough to get by his own. Not that he cares if he loses his own anyway.
I think more importantly is to get rid of the stagger so Team Kleiter doesn't have somewhere to draw around and hide.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously great to make the double.
Lipsit touches his own stone. If he doesn't touch his own, he's good. But that's the thing. That red stone was almost in the way of the double.
Yeah, mission accomplished, though. Got rid of that staggered in the top 8, and it does look like the most you're going to give up is 2, unless you throw a 0, unless you have a miss.
I guess on the other side of things, Rylan Kleiter's team just cannot buy a break. You get Yannick Schwaller to touch his own stone, and he still leaves it in the rings for second shot. If he kills them both there, at least, you don't have to worry about making a double. Right now, they continue to play through this end. He's still got to make a double at some point in time. The count is 2. Oh, they just rubbed the guard on the way by again.
Wow.
Straighten it out. Doubles there again. Doesn't really want to necessarily play towards the guard. The nose hit on third shot would leave you sitting 3. Hard to bring that yellow back into the play then.
Yeah, exactly. If you make this nose hit, Team Kleiter's going to have to make 2 doubles to score 2.
Wants to stick around here, so they get the offside sweep, gets up to the nose. So not only does Rylan Kleiter have to make 2 doubles to get the deuce, it's where do you see the first one?
Yeah, there really is no double. So what Matt said is probably the call. If you can hit that red in the back forefoot and roll behind the red and try to bait Team Schwaller into playing the short run back. If you somehow get a half or a 0 and Team Schwaller decides to pick their own red out, you'll have a hit for 3. But I don't think Team Schwaller is going to fall for the bait.
Aren't you greedy? I think if the goal is buried, I don't think he's playing the run back.
No.
Scoreboard says he can't. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them talk about it. They are so good at it, but it's one where you look over your shoulder and see a 7-point lead and realize, no, we can't play the run back here. First things first, Rylan Kleiter needs to hold the shooter here. This is really curling on him.
It's a big sweep for Trevor Johnson, and it's going to overcurl.
Touches the stone, but doesn't move it very far, and the shooter continues through the rings. Well, this is not a bad problem to have, but it's the same problem Benoit Schwartz has had the whole game. He's always having to try to decide where he puts the 4th counter.
Yeah, this is not a bad problem to have at all. Yeah,
where do we go to sit 4?
Just see Benoit Schwartz smirking because they were talking about where to put this. Not much of better feeling in curling than being up 7 and drawing to sit 4. That's unfortunate for Team Kleiter. Came out flat in the beginning of this game and just don't have it tonight. They looked pretty good this afternoon to make it to the C qualifier in a pretty tough field here at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
And while looking to get full 8 foot here in front of his shot stone. Boy, it gets a little. We talked about breaks. We mentioned it already again, and then at the end, and that's just a draw. It wasn't a hit. He got a little spin at the end to cover a little bit more of that stone at the back 4 foot.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying, you know, there's been a lot of misses from Team Kleiter, but Schwaller lineup hasn't missed really at all. They put pressure every single shot they make. So Rylan Kleiter, a draw to the full 4 foot for 1 point here in the third end.
Not his first draw against 4 in this game. Rushers so far look like they're just cleaning this one. Line looks nice. He's got backing. How does he have backing? He's got a lot of weight. Will get to that back stone and nestles up against it. Rylan Kleiter on the board, picks up the single point here in the third. Now Schwaller with a 7-1 lead will have last rock when we come back.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Well, as if things weren't already going poorly for the Kleiter team, a bad start to this fourth end for them as well. We went back from the break yet, but I believe the first stone slipped into the rings. That allowed Cabo a shot to make a hit. Why the yellow stone's in the back corner and the red at the side of the house.
And now they're peeling their own rock out.
Yeah. Trevor Johnson made the guard with the second one, but now shot can just peel out his own stone. You won't be getting 2 free guards this end.
No, I imagine. I mean, as a curler, sometimes it's easy to be frustrated and lose focus, and then all of a sudden you throw the rock 2 or 3 feet too heavy.
You know, there is a possibility that they switched stones on him too.
Yeah.
Rylan Kleiter has come up short a couple of times, and it's possible that they gave Trevor one of those stones, and then he's guessing. He knows he's got to throw a little more weight because he's been short a couple of times. It's actually a situation where when you're trying to come back like this and you need those free guards, you've got a mismatched stone like that, you almost might have to give it to the second because those lead stones are just too important.
Yeah, it's really a team decision. Some teams give it to the second, some teams give it to the lead. I mean, when you have a bad rock, it either way, someone has to throw it. So it really is just up to the team and what they want. I know my team gave it to the lead as well, and
I know with some teams, the thinking is you give it to the second because typically if there's a difference in stones, it shows up less on a hit than it does on a draw. So you give it to the second man, assuming that he's going to have a chance to hit. Now, with the score being what it is, the second's not going to get a chance to hit for the Kleiter team either. You're pretty much committed to, you have to think at least 7 draws an end right now.
yeah, I mean, especially with the 5 rock rule, the second shots have changed a lot since the rule changed. So they really shouldn't have a bad rock because they need to make those hack waiters and those draws and freezes more often than usually they used to just throw a lot of peels. So you could give them the slow one.
Yeah. Looking to get cover on shot rock, doesn't curl up quite enough. Leaves some angle where Ben Michel can try to get both of them. Drive the guard back across the face of the stone at the top of the 8-foot. He called them off right away. Might have been a little bit back on this, so they're looking for curl. He'll just straight peel the guard.
Yeah, there's really no need to take a risk on making the run back. I mean, right now your skipper needs to draw a full 8-foot, fighting 4. I mean, and maybe Team Kleiter might have a guard run a little deeper, and then you can take the risk of playing the run back.
Well, that one was offline enough, I think. I don't think there was
fair enough.
Associated with it. Matthew Hall did not get back to the line that they needed. But probably have tightened up the ice just a little bit here for Josh Natter. But still nothing out of the brush, and the brush that's down to clean is the offside brush, so this one's well out there as well.
Yeah, you almost don't want it too deep and make the run back easier. I know you wanted to guard your rock, but you could have just left it a little higher and let them hit it and make a better draw after.
They could actually get at shot rock, but hitting the rock in the rings doesn't help them any more than hitting the guard. And there's enough of an angle there to safely go after the double. You know you're going to roll out. It's close.
Yeah, great shot by Yannick.
Spun a little at the end so it doesn't touch the divider.
That's why I would have liked if they maybe just left that guard higher. Yeah, you wouldn't have been guarding your rock, but the run back would have been a lot harder, and you could have just made a better draw later in the end. But now there's no rocks in play, and probably a blank and handshakes, most likely.
One of the things that gets into your psyche a little bit with a situation like this as well is it takes you about 28 seconds from the time you leave the hacks to throw that guard, and before the brushes have made it back down to the other end, it's already sitting in the back corner.
Yeah, it's one of the most deflating feelings in curling.
Yeah, it happens so quick.
Looks like they're trying to draw the very edge of the rings to maybe bring that red one a little bit into play. At least it'll be optically in your view for Team Schwaller when you're throwing at this yellow.
In his eye, and I think two of the Schwaller teams certainly looks like the two of them so far this game. Like a lot of teams, they prefer to play these hits from the outside in. If you're stopped right there, and he didn't, had you stopped right there, you'd have forced them to play the hit from the inside out. At least is not the turn they're used to playing.
I'm surprised they're even looking at hitting this. Why not just draw the 4-foot? Yeah.
He figures that's the only rock that Rylan Kleiter's got to use. He's going to try to freeze to with his last one. No matter where you put this draw, he's going to try to hit and roll over there. And she comes to the back of the 8-foot, and then he freezes to your shooter. They're just going to throw it through.
Yeah, that's, obviously the safe call. Team Kleiter could make the corner freeze here and make Team Schwaller draw paint. This looks a little bit closer.
Had his struggles with draw weight in this game, but he makes a nice one here. Schwaller wants to play for the blank.
Well, Matt already took his glove off, so that gives me a sense that they're done.
Yannick got down looking to play for the blank, and then can't see what Benoit's doing, but I could see Yannick. He tapped the button, so I think the call came from the other end. Benoit just wants to draw the button.
Yeah, just draw.
And Benoit seems to find this all rather amusing. Just put the broom down. I'm gonna draw.
For Yannick, it probably feels criminal that you're up 6 and not hitting. Sweepers didn't like it out of the hand, and now they're staying way far back from it.
Not curling yet. This is going to slide.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
The steal of one, but that's not enough, says Matthew Hall of Rylan Kleiter, to keep going. Makes the score look a little bit more respectable, but it goes into the books as a 7-2 final for Yannick Schwaller in 4 ends of play, and they will move on to the championship round tomorrow morning. We want to thank everyone who's been with us here all week long. Men's division play, we know 6 of the playoff teams. There's still 2 games on the ice. We will have all of the playoff action for you tomorrow, starting at, I believe, the early draw is 8 a.m. There's still a women's draw tonight at 9 p.m. local time to determine the last 2 playoff teams there. My name's Sean Joyce. Sam Steep is with me tonight. We want to thank you for joining us, and stay with us for the final women's draw tonight and the championship round tomorrow on Saskatoon Curling Stadium.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
Saskatoon Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Saskatoon can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.